In this section, M.2.5, we're going to convert within and between standard and metric systems. This means between the standard will be considered the U.S. systems of measurement and the metric systems of measurement. As you can see, we only have one objective this time. It's going to convert between units of measure, in other words, milliliters to liters, fluid ounces to milliliters, pounds to kilograms, mcgs to milligrams, milligrams and grams, teaspoons and liters, ounces and grams, centimeters and meters, Fahrenheit and Celsius. Most of these conversions should be ones that medical field people need to know how to do. What you need to do is you need to refer to the section M.1.7, metric units of measure and temperature handout, as noted here, that we used back in section 1.7. You will see your metric units of measurement, and then as you go down, you see your metric system of lengths and a few pieces of information about it. Then we come down to the weights, which are grams. Then we come down to capacity, which is liters. And the very last thing is the temperature scale converting between Celsius and Fahrenheit. This is if you're given a Celsius scale and you want to convert to Fahrenheit, you use this formula, or you can use this decimal formula. Either one will work. You will also need to refer to this section M.2.5, English metric units of conversion worksheet and handout that I have posted in Canvas. You can see I've got the U.S. units of measurement for length, weight, and capacity. Weight and mass, and capacity and volume, and their conversion units. You're going to use what we call unit fractions. Your book calls this conversion method to convert from one U.S. unit to another. You also have the metric units of measurement. Again, I have down here a little mnemonics you can use to remember the units of measure. And if you come down here a little bit farther, we have the Celsius and Fahrenheit, and Fahrenheit to Celsius scale, so you may need one or the other of these on your test. Then we have conversions between the U.S. and the metric units of measure. This is mostly what you'll be doing in the medical field. You'll be given something in English, you'll have to convert it to metric, or vice versa. Given something in metric, and you have to convert it to English. So we're all going to use the same formula. We're going to take the original unit of measure they give us, just put it over 1. We're going to multiply it by what we call a unit fraction, which has the units to convert to over the original units. Then we just multiply like we normally do with fractions. Straight across the top, straight across the bottom, then simplify if possible. We need to look at our key terms now, so we'll make sure that we are understanding what we're talking about. Conversion just means changing one value or unit of measurement to another that is equivalent. Another conversion factor is the number used to multiply or divide to convert from one value to another. And then our unit conversion is calculating equivalent values between systems of measurement. So what we're going to do is, the book has a couple of examples. I have a few more. But let's go over here and read some of these things, some of the stuff that's in your book. It says the metric system was designed to make conversions easier. The units for length, weight, and volume are directly related to each other. The prefixes, which are the ones that stand here and is also on section 1.7 handout. You got kilo is 1,000, deca is 10, deci is 1/10, centi is 1/100th, and milli is 1/1000th. So what we know is a kilogram is 1,000 grams, a kilometer is 1,000 meters, and a kiloliter is 1,000 liters. So a milligram is 1/1000th of a gram, or a very small quantity indeed. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the rest of this video just to convert between different units of measure. Now, to convert between units, use the unit conversion method, which is going to be the formula that I'm going to show you. As I said, to convert between units of measure, use the unit conversion method. And what this is something that we already know. We know that if we multiply a fraction by 1, or a fraction that has a value of 1, then the fraction numbers may change, but its value stays the same. So an example would be, if I take the fraction 3/4, and I multiply it by the fraction that says 2/2, which we know that 2/2 equals 1. Remember, any number over itself is going to equal 1. And we multiply it like normally, we're going to get 6/8. Well, that's the same value as if I reduce it back to 3/4. So 6/8 and 3/4 may not look exactly the same, but they still have the same value. So when you're doing this unit conversion method, you're using the formula below to convert from one unit of measure to another using a unit fraction that has a value of 1. In other words, the value of the unit of measure on top is equal to the value of the unit of measure on the bottom. So we have something that equals 1, just like 2 over 2. We have a unit fraction that equals 1. So our formula that we're going to use to convert between English and English, metric and metric and English or English back to metric is going to be this same formula. We're going to take our original value or original unit of measure, just put it over 1. We're going to multiply it by the unit we want to convert to divided by the original value unit. So this equals 1. So we have to know this conversion factor, which was one of our key words. So the example that you have in your book is we have 3 pounds and we want to know how many kilograms that is. What we know, 3 pounds. What are you trying to find? The number of kilograms. So we know we're given the conversion factor that 1 pound is equal to 0.45 kilograms. So we multiply what you know by the conversion factor, written as a fraction. I'm going to take my original unit of measure, put it over 1, going to multiply it by the unit to convert to, which is kilograms, over 1 pound. And where did I get these numbers? Right here, from this conversion factor. 1 pound is 0.45 kilograms. I'm wanting to go to kilograms, so I put it on top. I'm going from pounds, so I put it on the bottom. Then I just normally multiply out. 3 times 0.45 is 1.35. 1 times 1 is 1, so I really have 1.35 kilograms over 1. We're going to just delete the 1 that's on the bottom and make our final answer 1.35 kilograms. Another example is, what if we wanted to go from grams to ounces? Well, the first thing I have to know is, what is my conversion factor? We know that 1 ounce is equal to 28.35 grams. We're given that, or we just have to know that. So 432 grams is equal to X ounces, and they're using the abbreviations. So take your original unit of measure, 432 grams, put it over 1, multiply that by the unit of measure you want to go to, which is ounces, over grams. We know that 1 ounce is equal to 28.35 grams. That's given in our conversion factor. We do our multiplication straight across the tops, straight across the bottoms. We're going to get 432 over 28.35. They left that step out. But then when you do your division, you'll get 15.238 ounces. So we know that 432 grams is equal to 15.238 ounces. So let's go work a couple of extra ones that I have on my worksheet. In my example here, I know that 1 pound is equal to 0.45 kilograms, just exactly like what was noted in your book. So this could give me 2 different unit fractions. It'd be 1 pound over 0.5 kilograms or 0.545 kilograms over 1 pound. The one we use will depend on which we're converting from and which one we're converting to. If I was converting to pounds, I would use this one. If I was converting to kilograms, I would use this one. So we're going from pounds, I won't have 6 pounds to kilograms. So if I'm going from pounds to kilograms, I'm going to use this one. So I take my original unit of measure, original value, put it over 1, multiply it by the units to convert to, 0.45 kilograms, it's coming from right here, over the 1 pound, which is coming from right here, and I do my multiplication, do my division, I'm going to get 2.7 kilograms. And make sure that you, when you multiply the fractions as normal and then simplify, you must put the correct units of measure on your answer. If I would put this as 2.7 pounds, that's totally wrong. The number part's right, and also the unit of measure has to be correct. So this is some of the places in the TEAS test. They may give you 2 numbers or 2 choices with the same number, but they've got different units of measure, so be careful on that. Here's another example, very similar to what was put in your book. We know that 1 ounce is equal to 28.35 grams, so I want to convert 2,268 grams to ounces. Original unit of measure over 1 times the 1 ounce I'm converting to over the 28.35 grams. Do my multiplication, multiply straight across the tops, I get this number. Multiply straight across the bottoms, I get this number. When I do my division, I'm going to get exactly 80 ounces. So we know that 2,268 grams is equal to 80 ounces. And going on a little bit further than that, What if I now wanted to know how many pounds that particular problem was? Well, we know 16 ounces is equal to 1 pound from the U.S. system of measurements. So to convert the 80 ounces to pounds, put 80 ounces over 1 times 1 pound over 16 ounces. Do a multiplication, I get 80 over 16. Simplify, I get 5. And since I was going to pounds, I got to make sure I put pounds as my answer. Now you can use this same method to convert between different types of monies in different countries. One of your practice problems is you're converting from pesos to US dollars. So what I did was, as of September the 29th, this is my conversion factor, 1 Mexican peso is equal to 0.0447 US dollars. So if I want to convert $10 to pesos, say I was in a country that used pesos, probably Mexico, and something was priced, and I want to know if it was worth the $10 or not worth the $10, and I want to know how much $10 is in pesos. Take my original unit of measure, put it over 1 times the 1 peso over the dollar amount, which I get from right here. Do my multiplication, do my simplifying, and I get approximately that $10 is equal to 224 pesos. So when I paid the shopkeeper, I would know I had to give them about 224 pesos for something worth about $10. This can be used to convert any kind of unit of measure from one unit of measure to the other. All you have to know is what is your conversion unit. And if anybody goes to a foreign country, they're probably going to have to convert money to money. So either you're going to convert it while you're still in the U.S. and going to the foreign country, or you're going to convert it while you're in your foreign country. But you still need to know how to do this. And you can convert a lot of stuff to a lot of stuff. So be careful on it. So remember, when you're converting between English and English measurements, metric and metric measurements, or metric and English or English and metric, always use this same formula here. It will help you to convert from one unit of measure to the other. Take your original value, or the original unit of measure you're given, automatically put it over 1, multiply it by a conversion factor, which equals 1, units to convert to over the original value units, make sure you multiply correctly, and then if needed to divide to get your units of measure, and then make sure you put your units of measure with your answers. Now you may be wondering why I want to make a big deal out of this conversion. The importance of measuring quantities accurately with the correct units can be a matter of life and death in the medical field. If you have to convert from cc's to milliliters, which we talked about in a previous section, you got to make sure you do it correctly. If you give them too much or not enough, that's where the life and death part comes in. So I hope this section video will help you to be able to convert correctly, and so that when you convert it correctly, there's no problem about the life and death being a problem.